knock on, knock, 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 knock. Pursuant to Section 551 of the Texas Government Code, notice is hereby given of a special meeting of the Red Oak Park and Recreation Commission being held Tuesday, December 1st at 7:03 p.m. via telephone conference, at which time the following will be discussed and considered. In accordance with the order of the Office of the Governor issued on March 16, 2020, and as amended on April 2nd, 2020, the Parks Board for the City of Red Oak, Texas will conduct a special meeting by telephone conference at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, December 1st, in order to advance the public health goal of limiting face-to-face meetings, also called social distancing, in an effort to slow the spread of coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. This is an open meeting conducted by telephone and or video conference. There is no public access to a physical location. City staff and the Red Oak Park Board members are encouraged to participate in a meeting by teleconference in order to allow the city to follow the CDC social distancing guidelines. I call the meeting to order. I do declare a quorum is present. I do declare notices legally posted pursuant to the Open Meetings Act. We'll have the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. Maria?
Yes.
The Pledge of Allegiance invocation, please.
Invocation and Pledge of Allegiance?
Yeah.
I will do that.
Okay.
I would like to thank everyone that came here tonight, and that everyone stay happy and healthy and have had understanding about what's going to happen during the holidays and taking necessary actions. I hope we continue to stay guided by that type of understanding and that type of intention through Jesus Christ, our name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Okay. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Is there applause for my singing?
I do not have any presentations. I don't think we have anybody else online, but let it be recorded that Jenny Lindsay, Joanne Smith, Maria Dowding, Kyle Kelly, Lori McGoffin, and John Benford is manning the video part, are all here.
Lori's not here.
I'm sorry?
Lori's not here tonight.
Lori? I thought I heard her on the phone. No?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
With her family tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, so missing is Lori McLaughlin, Chandria Kelly, and Chappelle White. New business consideration of the following Park and Recreation regular meeting minutes from October 20th. I can entertain a motion.
Okay, make a motion that we accept as is.
Second.
And I second it. Maria, second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Yeah, aye.
Okay, motion passed 3-0. Motion made by Joanne Smith, Maria second. Purchase Christmas decorations. Kyle, did you got any preference? Any ideas?
Yeah, we went through the old Christmas decorations that we have, and if they had lights on them, half the lights are broken,
Uh-huh.
and the other ones that go up to the light poles, I
Uh-huh.
think the work said that they used to just throw a zip tie on it, and those two are getting pretty aged. So I think that we need to look at that and see if what we can do to modernize our. I think the poles are an excellent place to put the lights with the garland and the ribbons and everything.
Uh-huh.
And I would like to try to do something to modernize that a little bit more than what's there now. When I say modernize, the stuff that is there, like I said, is very aged, and some of it's becoming brittle.
The iron works, is that what you're talking about?
Some ironwork is pulled apart, but there's anything that's got plastic on it is certainly beginning to. We were noticing a lot of it's cracking.
Okay.
It's just a sign of aging.
All right.
And I also wanted to make another recommendation that we probably will not be able to get done this year, but I would like to buy or propose to get the money next year to buy a 23-foot Christmas tree that will go right in front of the new city hall. There, it'll be kind of in the center there. I don't know if y'all know where the old sign was for the old junior high that has a big metal pole there.
Uh-huh.
That tree would fit perfectly either right on that or next to it.
Is that going to be a big enough tree?
23 foot is huge.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, we'll need to get the man lift. I was looking at pricing on that, and those were running around $15,000 for those trees.
I thought we discussed that back in August. Go ahead and do that.
Well, to get a tree,
Uh-huh.
no, we never talked about any specific items to get, but I did go and try to look up and see what was available and what the price ranges were. And I mean, from previous experiences and from speaking to other folks, I believe the 23 footer is about the average height. It's a pretty big tree. I mean, that's 2.5 stories tall, and with the way it's made is it's got a iron bottom that you build the cylinders up as you go to the top, and then you start putting the branches in. And as you're doing that, some of those have lights that are already connected to the branches, and you're just connecting. You're just going through and connecting the cords. So once you fluff it up, everything fits together, and it doesn't have but maybe 24 ornaments on the entire tree. But those ornaments are about a foot in diameter, so they're huge. And then plus the lighting on the tree, and with a tree that size, we'll definitely have to use guy wires to make sure that it doesn't blow over, or somebody comes up and tries to push it over or take it.
We talked about buying a live tree and planting it.
Yes, and that's another thing that we could do. The Woodlands Township back in 1983, they planted I can't remember the species. It was a cedar, and they always kept it in a conical shape, so that way it looked like a Christmas tree. And even till today, they still use that tree as their city Christmas tree. And it's pretty amazing. They take really good care of it, but it's a live tree. It's been planted, and it's been there for, my gosh, I think it's almost 40 years now.
Wow.
And that was part of their deal, was to their theme was always incorporated into their plans, was to recycle, reuse, stuff like that. And so it was a really cool deal, because it was so big it would take 4 of our staff members a week to put all the lights on it. And not that our tree would get that big that fast, but it would get big relatively quickly. And it would be neat to see it, through the years. Say 10 years from now, it'd probably be 15 feet tall, maybe taller.
You know how much one of those would cost?
For a tree like that to plant in the ground, probably 150, maybe $200. It was pretty affordable, and growing them in is a cool deal. And we could do multiples. We can get them at the 5 foot level or 5 gallon to 15 gallon pots. Put those in the ground in multiple locations. In the event we wanted to do something like, we could do a strategic planting with those, so we could say, hey, here's where we want, and we could decorate multiple trees, and then we could have one central tree, and then a bunch of other ones that we could use as I guess you would say, as secondary, and we could pick and choose on how we did that, and that would be the most affordable way, but it will be time consuming for those trees to grow in.
I think that planting a live tree and letting it grow like that, I think it will be kind of an anchor item for the community. So I'm kind of leaning towards that as the option. It's Maria, by the way.
Yeah, whenever you talk on our screens, it pops up as your name.
Oh, it does? Okay.
But I like the idea because it is meaningful, and that tree will continue to go from there. And then while we're on the subject of trees, I asked the mayor about the tree, the idea y'all had about putting a memorial at Dana, and he was thrilled to hear that. And he said, come up with a plan, and then come back and let them know. And so that way we can let them know. And honestly, coming out of the parks budget, it wouldn't be that much. I mean, we could probably get a really good sized tree, depending upon the species, typically less than $200.
Is there a place to plant it at City Hall?
You want City Hall or the old City Hall?
Well, the old City Hall is where she worked at.
We definitely could find a place. There's lots of room there.
I think that's the best idea.
Did we find out what kind of tree she likes?
I did not.
Okay.
I will see if Lori will reach out to her husband, since they spoke frequently and had a lot of conversations.
Okay.
Maybe he knew of something that she favored.
Okay, so
Went out, then I would just recommend we just plant a red oak.
oh, that's smart.
After planting the Christmas tree, if we plant it where you said to put the big tree at, would we have to have water in to that location to keep it watered?
Well, that because of the proximity of that, where we're going to put in a prominent location, we would certainly bring water to it to take care of it. And probably after 2 years, we won't have to do anything but monitor it, because once a tree gets established like that, it'll generally take hold on its own and not need any additional water. But if it does, we would also monitor it to make sure that it never turned down.
Well, I definitely would like it planted there in that area in front of what it's going to be City Hall.
Talk about
In
the
that-
circle.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be front and center, and I think that would be the best place for it.
Would you have something like an Eastern red cedar? Is that what we're kind of talking about?
Oh, so I will go with whatever you recommend, because I have no clue as to.
Eastern red cedars do well here, and they take on a Christmas tree look.
Okay.
We certainly would trim it up throughout the years to make sure it held that look.
Okay. And it grows pretty quickly.
It's a moderate grower, so it's going to grow. It's going to get some size to it.
Okay,
And what I'll do is I've got a source, a guy that I know out in East Texas. It's got a huge tree farm.
okay,
See if he can source it for us because his trees are typically they get 45 gallons and then he sells them.
huh,
And what I'd like to find one that's maybe a 200 gallon in a box, like in a crate,
uh-huh,
and spend a little bit more money. And then when we put that in the ground, that tree will have it'll have it'll be more like 10 feet from the get go. So it'll have something there.
uh-huh.
And I'll see about trying to do that. I'll start tomorrow to see what I can find, how fast we can do it. It would be nice to be able to put the tree in the ground this year and then go ahead and decorate it. And I'm fairly certain we can do that. The only problem I'm seeing is we don't have electricity, no outlets in that general vicinity. So I need to get an electrician out there to see what it would take to get us the power to that location.
Yeah, because it's across the street there at
Yeah,
the park.
we're looking at that. We'd have to run power from one of the poles across the street, and
Right.
that's just not going to work. So we're going to have to find another way to it can be done. I just need to have an electrician come out and do the research and show us where we're going to have to put the underground at.
Okay. Um, so if we don't know what the tree's gonna cost and we're gonna have new lights and bulbs and everything else, I'm guessing, yes?
Well,
It won't cost $15,000.
how many homes or left last year? But there was a lot of strands, like I said, that we started to go through them today, and a lot of bulbs were broken last year.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened, but the bulbs on those strands can be replaced, and we can add those. And the tree itself won't be so large this year that it's gonna, require too many strands.
uh-huh,
But we'll have to consider that for in the future because as that tree grows, we'll also have to kind of change it a little bit every year. That'll be really nice.
I think we also need to get a plaque that says donate by the Park and Rec and put the date that it was planted.
Okay.
So that 30 or 40 years from now, people know what day it was planted
yeah, yeah. That's a good idea.
and what kind of tree it is.
Okay.
Uh, I guess we need to authorize you to be able to have the money to buy the tree and stuff
Well,
at the
the way they
meeting.
have it set up, that it's all under parks now. So y'all just tell me what you want, and I can go get it.
Oh,
Because the park, all the parks fund is under. It ends up in one pot at the bottom, but
uh-huh,
it's down by line item and what it is.
uh-huh.
And so y'all just tell me what y'all want me to do, and I'll go do it.
I think the ones that you suggested sound like it'd be the right direction to go. The one you suggested for the Christmas tree and the one you suggested for Memorial Tree both sound like they would be good fits.
Okay.
The red cedar and,
Yeah, the Eastern red cedar and the red oak.
Sounds good.
So I'll work on that tomorrow, and as soon as we can get that, get both trees in, I think we'll end up getting uh, get the red oak in now as soon as possible.
uh-huh.
We can begin planning a ceremony or however y'all want to do that for, to have a memorial tree planting ceremony type set up.
Okay, do you know a good place to get a plaque done other than, because usually we get them at,
Memorial place in Waxahachie.
Yeah, across from the bowling alley.
I will find it. What do y'all want on the plaque, or in order to kind of get the ball rolling? Y'all want to write something out and show me how you want it to look and send it to me, or
Or just something like dedicated to Dana, can't think of her last name, but, or in memory of.
Yeah, I would say in memory of Dana Argumentus. Do we know?
Dedicated worker from start date to stop date.
Yeah, I was gonna say city secretary from however long she was there.
I think that sounds good.
I
okay,
think we definitely need to wait till after the holidays to have the ceremony.
yeah. I agree. I think we get through this, and then we maybe sometime in January we do that when everything's a little bit calmer and we get more people out to the ceremony. As long as we plant the tree before April, we'll be in really good shape.
Okay.
Okay.
Or do we need to go ahead and purchase it now?
I think so. If we can find one that's suitable, like a nice specimen tree that's not cross branched or looks like junk, if we get a really nice one,
Okay.
go ahead and get it now.
Okay.
We can keep it up at the hilltop property in the back and just keep it watered and on standby until we have the ceremony set up.
Okay.
What are you gonna do with that
Excellent.
hilltop property?
Ma'am?
What's gonna happen with that hilltop property?
It's on the market. They've had several people show some interest in it, but it's going to have to be the right. They want the right fit on that location. The building and everything that's there now has to go. They won't allow that to remain. They want it to be a new, whether it be a restaurant or some sort of an office building or shopping, whatever it turns out to be. They want that to be new and kind of because that's sort of that's the busiest, most visible area in Red Oak, and you want it to kind of say, "Hey, welcome to Red Oak," and not just another machine shop or something that's right there on the highway.
Jenny, do we need to make a motion about the tree?
Yeah, and Kyle, are you sure we're not gonna have to,
Put a dollar figure in there?
yeah, are we gonna have to do that or no?
As long as it doesn't exceed $3,000,
Uh-huh.
I can approve it. Or if it's over 1,000, I'll have to get bids. And if y'all like, I can get the pricing on that and just get back with you, so that way you'll have an exact amount.
Well, no, in our motion, we always had to say not to exceed a certain amount, and that way you were free to go spend up to that amount.
Okay, whatever whatever y'all want to, whatever limit y'all want to set. That's
Okay, well, I'll make a motion that we go ahead and buy the red oak tree for Dana, not to exceed $1,000,
okay.
and also to purchase a Christmas tree for red oak, not to exceed $3,000.
Will those prices work?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm
Okay.
find them cheaper, but that gives me the flexibility to go out, and if I go out and we find one that's a real good size and it's a bargain, then we'll jump all over it.
Okay.
Okay, well, I second it then.
Are we
That what
gonna
you're
have
waiting?
let me just ask a question. Are we gonna have to buy any lights or decorations to go along with that, or later after you get the tree in?
Let's look at the size of the tree.
Okay,
it, and then we'll go from there.
okay,
I'll see how fast I can move on this, so that way we can move forward.
okay. We have a motion on the table to go ahead and purchase the red oak tree in memory of Dana and the uh, cedar, eastern red cedar tree. Is that what it is? Pretty close.
Mhm.
On the number.
Motion made by Joanne, second by Maria. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, passes.
Also we'll make a motion that we arrange for a plaque for Dana and one for the Christmas tree, like to say $500 each.
Okay. I'll second it.
Okay.
Plaques for each tree. We already have the stuff for the memorial tree. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, passes 3-0. We should be able to get that plaque for $500 for each. If that's not gonna work, then, we'll just come back and relook at it.
I figured you got about 100, 150.
Yeah, I don't know anymore, Joanne. Used to things stayed the same, but it's not that way anymore. Okay, update on the board members. Do you want to talk about it? You want me to talk about it? What?
Well, I'll give feedback to everybody, so that way they know what was going on.
Okay,
The mayor, I talked to the mayor and to Todd, the city manager, about our situation, and because they're imaging, they're mirroring us like they would do the board for the library. They consider baseball a vendor or a potential vendor of ours. So having Steve on the board is a conflict of interest. And so he can work as a special advisor to the board if he chooses to do that, like they do for the library, but he's not able to be in a position to ever be a voting member until he is no longer in a position of conflict with that. And so Steve can't be an alternate member, and we need to find 2 alternate members for the board. And I believe we have one more applicant from last time, and I need to ask Dana again if she ever did get an application. There was a lady that called, I think it was probably 2 weeks ago, and she wanted to apply. I had no idea who she was or anything like that, but since everything goes through the city secretary,
is that Karen?
That's Karen right now. She's the interim city secretary.
Okay,
And so I sent her over to her, and she sent her some information, but I don't know that she ever got back with us. Because normally Karen would have sent it straight over once she got it back. But I'll verify in the morning, make sure.
okay.
I'm pretty certain the lady didn't get back with her.
Did we ever hear anything back from that Tawana Walls?
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
No, ma'am.
So obviously she's not too interested.
And I didn't know if maybe, the existing board members had people that they knew that would be interested in serving, that we could approach to say, hey, we'd really like to have some active members that, care about the community and would be willing to, put forth an effort to come to the meeting. Because
Yeah, it's only once a month,
it's a big responsibility, and I don't want to downplay it, but sometimes that kind of responsibility is not really a burden. It's more of a kind of a joyous deal for a lot of people. They enjoy doing that. And
Right.
that's the kind of person that we need to find, is somebody who will find some joy in serving others and be able to be active. It makes y'all, I know each one of y'all work pretty hard at this, so it'd make all your lives easier if we can find that kind of person. And honestly, I just don't know enough people. And with COVID, I haven't been able to really get out in the community very much. It's been kind of crazy.
Another advantage, oh, I'm sorry, another advantage to make sure that they, kind of, so that they can kind of get excited about it, is that when there is no COVID, when we're able to have events, that those are a lot of fun, being able to participate in them and be kind of in with the community in a real upbeat way. So that's another real good, if somebody would like to do something like that too. But I'm going to see what of course, like you said, COVID's slowing everybody down, but
Yes.
let's see what chains I can rattle too.
We'll go back to square one and see what we can try to come up with.
Because getting feedback from city council and mayor this last time was essentially they would like to have you guys, whenever we have somebody that comes up that says, hey, they'd applied and they want to be on there, just have them basically come in on a meeting like this and interview them and
Right.
feel them out a little bit, get to know them, and then make a recommendation. So, if it's a positive recommendation and we move forward with them, all y'all feel more comfortable with them because they work side by side with you, and there's a potential that if something was to ever happen, somebody either moves away or decides this isn't for them, and then you want that person to be the one to step up. And it would be nice to have a debate over who you wanted to step up.
That's true, but we used to previously we did when we were having the board meetings in the boardroom, that person or those people did come and talk to us, and we asked them questions and yada yada. So hopefully we can get back to that.
I don't feel like there's an extreme urgency to find those two other people, but as long as we're actively, kind of searching out there, maybe we get some folks to come in that have, fresh ideas and kind of pick up the spirits of everybody all the time, and kind of makes it to where it's, these meetings are easier, and every time we have events, we're so looking forward to them that, we just can't wait for them to happen.
Right. Well, and I think we're going to start being able to see that when, like the fishing gets going and
Exactly.
a few of these other things get going. So I don't know. It's slow progress.
Yeah.
Joanne, do we need to order new shirts? Does everybody have a nice long sleeve and a nice short sleeve shirt?
We need to get ours from Kevin.
From who?
Kevin needs to turn his in.
I don't have one short sleeve or long sleeve. They ordered me one, but it was a men's shirt, so I still need to get women's small short sleeve and long sleeve.
Okay, that would be from I guess Lori.
Right.
She's the one who orders our shirts. Do you, Joanne, need?
What?
Do you need new shirts?
No, we didn't hardly wear those Marines.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll see what we can. We'll ask Lori if she ordered a woman's.
I think they were all men's shirts anyway.
Oh, she ordered all men's?
Because I think mine are men's shirts.
I don't know. I'll have to look at mine and see what it is. But we need to find out if she ordered a woman's for Maria. Does she know what size, Maria?
Small.
Small? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Make a note and ask her, I guess. Small ladies. Okay. Kyle, you want to give, is there any updates, repairs, modification for the parks?
Yeah, absolutely.
Financial report. I haven't seen a financial report in a while, but
We have a full slate of budget. We haven't touched any of the money.
okay.
From last year rolled over and remained the same. So we have the same funding. It's 100%.
Hmm.
The projects right now that we're working on, the Red Oak Red Oak Little League Football Association had their board meeting last week to do their 2021 officer elections.
Uh-huh.
It seems like their board completely turned over, and so the
Huh.
guy that BJ, the guy, he was acting as vice president for the year. He's now the president, and they have a almost complete new executive board. It's really exciting.
Huh.
They're going to change their name. They're talking about it, but a recommendation from city attorney was that they change their name from the Red Oak Pee Wee Football Association to like something like the Red Oak Youth Football, because it's easier to identify with a youth sport rather than being Pee Wee.
Right.
Right.
That's the modern term. And they were totally on board with that. So I think that's something that they're going to be changing here pretty soon. And then over at Live Oak Sports, they're pouring the concrete right now on the last curbing on the field, on the big field. Once they're through with that, they'll finish packing all the gravel and start laying the turf. So we're probably, I'm going to say, a week out from them being able to start laying turf.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
The turf went into manufacture in the second week of November, and once it's made and quality controlled, and it'll take them. It takes them about a month to get it here. So we're looking at between now and the end of next week, they should have at least 2 fields worth of turf on location. So
Wow.
it's coming pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
They did lay out the restroom and concession stand, and they've got the area cleared where they're going to put the maintenance shed in the back, and that'll be coming pretty quick. The only thing that's held up is we were looking at was at the site this afternoon. We waited to see if it's going to rain tonight or not, because we do have to do some digging. We have to put conduit in for water, or piping for water and conduit for the electrical, for the main feed coming in. I had to get city council to approve an easement, so we can have an easement that comes in on the backside where the power needs to come in. Because when we looked at that last December, we got some bad information from Encore. They led us to believe we could come from another direction. Fortunately, that guy is no longer with them for obvious reasons. I guess he didn't know what he was doing. And the new guy said, no, you can't do that. So we're coming from another direction. And here it is, the day that we planned on starting to dig, but wouldn't be able to be complete. Those trenches have to remain open until it's from one end to the other. And it's about 400 feet of trench with 2 pipes.
Wow.
It has to remain open until the inspector can come and look at all of it, and then we can bury it after that. So you really have to start and finish quickly.
Yeah.
So we're going to give it another day, and if it does rain in the morning, then we will wait until the ground dries again and then give it another try. But there's plenty of work that we're not slowing them down in any way, so there's plenty of work to be done. And then over at the Hargrove Park, they began to set the forms for the restroom there. And we heard from Casey this morning. He said they're supposed to start construction this week, far as going in and putting in their underground, their conduits for their piping and electrical. Had a kind of an issue with the sidewalk that's going in by the splash pad. If anybody's driven by there, the fence has been destroyed by the sidewalk company. They were using a machine to dig the dirt so they could put the sidewalk in, and they hit the fence in 3 locations. And so that's got to be replaced. And well, I mean, it's just part of construction sometimes, and it's unfortunate, but you know, we're going to get it fixed before the park is finished and open.
Well, the people,
Ground opening for that park, hopefully sometime in March, and then sometime close to that, we'll also have for the Live Oak baseball softball, and then we can just go from there. I mean, there's a lot that's got to happen between now and then before we can have an exact time for it to be ready, but it's getting very close. It's getting exciting. The more I go out there, the more I'm like, okay, wow, it looks more like what it's going to end up being. So it's going to be pretty nice.
How many baseball and football fields are going to end up with?
There is going to be six total. The one field is the big field is going to be 295 feet to the poles, and center field is going to be about 325. It's going to have a fence that's going to be about 25 feet tall, I believe, in center field. And then the other field will be field 2 will be 210, field 3 will be 205, field 4 will be 200, another 205, and then 135 for the T-ball field. And then 4 hitting cages will go in behind field number 4.
That's a lot.
And then that's all the new stuff. And then of course we've got the trout coming. I did talk to Texas Parks and Wildlife a week before I left for vacation, and we were still on schedule. They said they would give us a 24-hour out notice when they were coming. So it could be Thursday or Friday, or if we're on our schedule, it'll be early next week. That's, you know, I just be flexible to their schedule.
yeah, didn't wonder something that, or we talked about them stocking it on the 8th and then doing that. Well, we can't do that on the 12th, right? Because it'd be too many people.
Correct.
So,
I mean, we made some signs up that basically they're just the H-frame plastic corrugated signs. It explains to people what's going on in the pond, what the fish are, the rules and the regulations, and we're going to put about 5 of those out. And then I'm meeting Friday with the new, we've got a new public information person, and she's going to be doing our Facebook pages and all of our all of the stuff on the city website.
oh, good.
Be able to put that information out. She'll push that out on Monday of next week. I say Monday. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna ask her to push it out on Monday, because we did have a preliminary discussion about it. I think she can do it, but if she runs any issues, it may be Tuesday or Wednesday. But we're pushing for Monday to get that information on the website.
And who is that?
Don't even know her name.
Okay. Alrighty then.
I will have to introduce her to everybody, potentially when we get out of COVID.
Yeah. Okay. What else do we need to know? That you're swamped.
Yeah, I'm okay. I just when you get back from vacation and all this is going on, it's just like it's absolute craziness.
Yeah, I know.
Um, our communication director, her name is Alexa Beasley, and
Yeah.
somebody who we really need to kind of tap into her experience. She is a certified marketing and event planner, and so
Oh,
like where she came from on the east side of Dallas, she was they put on big events, and she was the director that put on all the events for the city. I feel bad. I can't remember if she came from Sunnyvale or
yeah.
Forney. It was somewhere in that area.
Huh. Cool. Well, good. All right. That's great. Huh. Anybody have any other questions?
Oh, that's like you say, that's a lot. That's very impressive. Be
We got
excited when all this COVID is wrapped up and we can all get out and have a big celebration about it.
Oh, no kidding.
well, I got another one. To be the the Bear Creek Park is what we call it. I guess East Ovilla Road. The 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 parcel of land out there, the Bear Creek.
Uh-huh.
No, okay, I'm lost. Tell me where.
Remember where we went out and saw all the white rocks in the water?
That
Yeah,
big creek
yeah.
area,
Behind
yeah.
the church. Yeah, the 71
I
acres
decided to
or
go
whatever.
swimming and everybody wasn't looking.
Uh-huh.
They I got with the fire chief and he got with his guys who have got Texas Forest Service training, and they are going to do a controlled burn on the entire property for us.
Oh,
Wow.
fantastic. Good.
And I met with them probably the first week in November, and we took a look at it preliminary to see if it could be done. And then we did a site visit and walked around. And then now I've got to go out there. They've got blocks that we need to go mow. So in other words, it's a controlled burn, but we don't want it to jump and get crazy out of hand. So we'll have 40-foot swaths, 20-foot swaths, and 10-foot swaths in different areas. That way the fire, if it does start to run on them, it'll have to break and be able to slow it down. And they're also going to invite local fire departments to come over and train with them. It's a training opportunity for.
Oh, how cool.
That's good. What do
They're
they
talking about taking 2 days to do that.
know when they're
Okay.
going to do it?
They won't have an idea until January.
Oh, okay. So after the first of the year.
Yes, ma'am. And then they'll give us a date, and that date could change because they have to watch the weather pretty keenly to make sure
Right.
they have
Yeah.
a windy day that they decide to do that.
Correct. Yes, yes, yes. What else?
That's all that I remember right now.
Well, that's quite a bit. How about okay, today is the 1st. You think we need to have another meeting?
That's up to y'all. I mean, I can give y'all updates on what we just went over and everything here with the purchases and everything like that. I mean, if we don't need to have a formal meeting, we could go until January and then just kind of informally discuss stuff. If that's what y'all want to do,
Okay.
but it's up to y'all. If you want to meet, I'll be there.
I think we're good till January.
Maria, what do you think?
I think we're good till January too. It sounds like everything's kind of going in the direction that makes sense, and everything's kind of built up. For December, we've been kind of covered, and then so January, would be a good time to meet again, to find out how things went and then to see what's happening in the first part of 2021. So I agree. January sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, you can just, kind of keep, do you want to keep me up to date and then I can, or
Send out it.
send me one and send Joanne one and,
I'll send it to you and you can filter it out to the group, and then that way,
okay,
if y'all have questions or need to talk or whatever, and then I'm always available. If you call me and I don't answer, leave me a voicemail. I'll call you back when I get out of the meeting or whatever it is.
when you get out of the meeting, gotta love those meetings. Okay, well, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
A second.
Maria seconds, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nope. Okay. Y'all have a very Merry Christmas. Be safe.